So, here I am, at the helm, at Richard Wheatley, behind the big desk, and I've got no idea what to do. I want to phone somebody and say things like, buy fish at $4.50 or sell smolts at $3.20, but no. It's a good office. Let's have a look round. Hi Clive, what are you doing today?
Well, I'm looking at one of the treasures from our reference collection. This is the Wheatley catalogue from around 1909, 1910, 1911. It's got some really wonderful things that people no longer associate with Richard Wheatley. Things like work boxes, beautiful leather worked goods. Haberdashery boxes, sewing boxes to you and I. The same sort of thing in wood and all sorts of things. The souvenir goods, 1910. The prices. Yes, look. Things, all sorts of beautiful things.
And this is all Wheatley products?
These are all what Richard Wheatley made in the early times. The company as we know it, with just fishing tackle, only originates from sort of 50, 60 years ago, 1966, when the company was split and sold. And then we get souvenir goods. Crests a present from. We all had them. Oh, there's another blotter where you could write your telegraph and your telegram, and picture frames and different blotters and all sorts of beautiful things. And eventually we come up to tartans, and then we get to the fishing tackle. This is the fishing tackle from about, this one isn't dated, but we think it's about 1911. And then if you come along all the things we've booked, we get to page 7, we find the incredibly rare 1904 clips. And that's what we're going to show you today, Russ.
Wow. Right, let's have a look.
Right, well, we saw the 1904 box in the catalogue, and now we have some. So what we've got is the history of the 1904 box from our reference collection.
Okay.
The box started as a black japanned box. This one is very good because the plates, which have got warm, have crinkled and now come out. They were held, as you can see, underneath two clips in a gilded box. You can see it's been made shiny and brassed and whatever, so it's gilded. And the plate sat underneath those clips. The problem was, once the plate got warm, it started to crinkle. So it's now pulled itself out from underneath the clips. So we had to think, or Wheatley's in the date and this time had to think of a new method of collecting it. If you look very carefully, Russ, you'll also see there is no logo. This is a 1904-1905 version of the box. I shall
look carefully.
And you can see, whatever you do, the embossed lozenge isn't in place.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
So this is how we started. We made them gilt boxes and they crinkled and came out. So we had to go a bit further. There's the same thing with the plates nicely secured in. This one has been had a bit better content. They've tried to put clips in the side to try and hold it, and that one has managed again. No logo.
And that's the 3/4 inch box.
That's the 3/4 inch box. That's the inch. So we obviously decided that having made an inch one, somebody wanted a thinner one, so we made a thinner one to go in the pocket. That still wasn't very convenient, so we decided we ought to rivet them in.
It's a lovely shot of your thumb, but let's look at the rivets.
Yeah, you can see the box has been riveted in. If we just see the rivets through the box to hold the plates in. Again, you have the same problem. As it gets warm, the plate buckles and it doesn't quite hold. And you can see here how they've mounted the plates on card to try and give them a bit more substance.
Question. Given that Wheatley was a leather goods manufacturer, did they ever use leather as the backing plate?
Not on the plates, no.
No?
We made huge amounts of leather goods, thousands or hundreds of different types of leather fly books, fly wallets, toolkits, compendiums, all sorts of things in leather, canvas and all sorts. But no, it doesn't add anything to a plate. Here you can see the salmon version. This is a salmon version with rivets, and this one's a little later because it's got the lozenge logo.
So it has.
And here we've managed to stop the plate crinkling. We've got much more support, we've got much more riveting in, and there's always something strange about these boxes because the top clip has only got 4 on. Moving it a quarter of an inch down would have had 5 for 20, but our early boxes only have 19 clips either side. Now we go to a very rare commodity. This is a beautiful 1904 clips. This is an unusual grills pattern with the small 7s that side and the 5s this side. Lozenge made for the Army and Navy, but this one is in aluminium. These are very difficult to find in aluminium, and this is an aluminium version. This one will date round about 1908, 1910.
We're going to have to explain that to our American viewers, you know.
Yes, aluminium. See, I'm not American, so I can't actually say it. The other things we have out is one where we have tried. This one's got lots of lovely flies in, but again, lozenge mark and flies. Beautiful. Salmon type.
So that's not gristle, that's salmon.
That's salmon. Those are somebody trying to catch a slightly bigger fish. Quills tend to run up the rivers about 4 to 7 pounds. Salmon tend to run up 7 to 40 pounds.
Right.
Maybe even bigger, but not in all rivers.
Do they come up at the same time?
Some rivers have just a run, others have a spring run with grilse or salmon and an autumn run with the other. So it depends on your river, how many salmon you have running in your river. The Great Scottish rivers have multiple runs. The lesser rivers down here in the southwest of England have less runs. And sadly, over the last 20 years, 30 years, then the runs have become much different as the salmon have become less plentiful. Mm-hmm. So there you go, that's the 1904. That's the first patented clip for Richard Wheatley. Beautiful things.
Patent number
20408.
So, Clive's off in hunt of a triple salmon fly. He says he didn't want to talk about salmon flies too much because they could be very, very valuable and he doesn't know much about them. His idea of not very much and mine are two totally different things. Ah, here he comes. The boss is returning. We're in trouble now. I was just saying that your idea of not knowing much about flies and mine are two totally different things.
Yes, but my idea of not knowing much about salmon flies compared with somebody who collects salmon flies like I collect, or like our reference collection, is about the same. I know very little about salmon flies, but more than you, but he'll know 10 times more than me. And I think obviously what we'll do when we make our planned video on salmon flies, we'll get an expert like Steve Thomas in and he'll give us a hand.